by.
Good evening, everybody. Live from Bud Wright Stadium on the campus of Sheridan High School in Sheridan, Indiana. We'd like to welcome you to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Sectional 41. Sectional 44, Class 1A, the championship round on Hamilton County Television, brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors, Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, the Hamilton County Television Calendars, the Noblesville Chamber of Commerce, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. Well, it's a rather brisk night here in Sheridan, Indiana. It's 49 degrees. The sky is clear. A beautiful full moon is rising to the east of Bud Wright Stadium. My name is Brad Silbert. I'm here along with Craig Atkins tonight to bring you all the action between the Sheridan Blackhawks and the Monroe Central Golden Bears. Monroe Central from Parker City over in Randolph County, in the eastern part of Randolph County. Of course, the Sheridan Blackhawks here in the northwestern part of Hamilton County. Craig, we have got one heck of a game coming up tonight. This looks like this is going to be a classic-type football game between these two teams.
Oh, and we were hoping, before we went on live tonight, we were saying that we hope that this game that we see on paper equals the same thing out there on the natural grass out there on Bud Wright Stadium's field of play, because it's going to be, hopefully, with looking at their stats of both these two squads, it looks like it's going to be one heck of a battle tonight for the Class 1A 44 sectional championship here at Bud Wright Stadium tonight.
Well, if you look at the final polls in 1A, the AP Media poll has Monroe Central at number 5 and Sheridan at number 8. You look at the coaches poll, and Monroe Central is number 4 and Sheridan is number 6. You also look at some of the other statistics on this. The Monroe Central Golden Bears are averaging 41.8 points per game offensively. Sheridan, 41.4. One of the differences between these two teams, defensively, Monroe Central giving up 9 points per game. Sheridan is giving up 14.4, but one of the things we've commented on, Craig, and you can elaborate on this a little bit more, the competition that the Blackhawks have faced has been a little tougher than what the Golden Bears have gone up against.
Yeah, nothing against what John Hochstetler and his Monroe Central Golden Bears have played against this year, but Sheridan playing the likes of Western Boone, who destroyed Fisher's 43.
When we're going to keep track of tonight, we'll keep a look at Adams Central and two teams next week. And
but Monroe Central did played some similar teams that Sheridan played, Tri-Central, Westell. But they also played and won convincingly 46-21 at Eastern Hancock, who's coached by former Cathedral coach Jim O'Hara. And they lost to a pretty good Shenandoah team who's playing for a sectional championship at home tonight versus LaPel in 2A sectional 36. And they played, the Clinton Central and Clinton Prairie in the first couple rounds of this sectional, winning handedly 57-6 over Clinton Central, 42-12 over Clinton Prairie. And like we said, not to discount the schedule that they play, but it seems like with Sheridan playing Western Boone, who is back down in they're a 3A team. Tri-Central, Carroll Flora, who's been in the top 5 in 1A all year, and the Tipton Blue Devils, who beat Sheridan by 20. Yeah. And now Sheridan has rattled off 4 wins in a row.
Well, in order to get here where they are at tonight, the Sheridan Blackhawks have come off 2 very impressive games early here in the sectional. They beat Tri-Central 50-8 a couple of weeks ago, and then last week they beat West Dell 35-8. So there've been a couple big games. In fact, both of these teams have had very, very large lopsided victories, with the Monroe Central beating Clinton Central 57-6, and then over Clinton Prairie 42-12. So both of these teams are used to scoring a lot of points, but we'll just have to see defensively how things go tonight. One of the things I noticed, Craig, was that when it comes down to differences in these teams, that Monroe Central seems to have more of a passing game than Sheridan does. The Blackhawks have not exclusively relied on Joe Callahan, but Callahan has been one of the mainstays. And in talking to some of the other media that is here tonight, the people more familiar with the Golden Bears, they're saying that a quick running back is going to create a problem for them, and so Joe Callahan could be in for a big night. On the other hand, when you look at the Blackhawks as far as their passing game, they've had an effective passing game, but they just haven't had to rely on it very much, whereas Monroe Central has had both a good running game and a good passing game this season.
And obviously, like you said, Joe Callahan is the focal point of the Sheridan offense. 245 carries, 1,730 yards on the ground, 7-point yards a clip at 157.3 per game, 27 touchdowns. He's had 7 100-yard games. Mm-hmm. There have been some games where he doesn't get to 100 because Sheridan doesn't need him on the field anymore to save his health and energy. And
several of the games that we've seen this season that have been very lopsided, he's played into the third quarter and has seen very little, if any, action in the fourth quarter. And, there's, the old adage, why risk the injury? But, he's got the 1,700 yards this year, which leads Hamilton County as far as rushing in, among all the high schools in Hamilton County. But there again, why take a chance on, on injuring the guy just to put more points on the board? But any way you look at it, I think this is going to be a very, very, very close game. One of the things I noticed is that if you look at opponents' records, Monroe Central was 43-71. Sheridan was 56-59. Once again, it's showing that the Golden Bears might not have played quite the caliber of what Sheridan is. The other factor in this thing is the coaches. You've got two veteran coaches here. Of course, Bud Wright coaching in his game number, 602 or 603? I didn't do the math.
Do the math, 409 plus, actually 410 plus 490, or 191, and that's...
so it's six. This will be game number 602 for Bud.
Yep.
And John Hochstetter, total of 21 years overall at 131 and 106. But John was at Muncie Central for many, many years before. He had
some pretty good years there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a 131 and 106 overall. So he's had a pretty good stint over on that eastern part of the state. As we see the official coin toss, we saw kind of a mock coin toss earlier, I think.
We'll have to see what is going to happen here. It looks like Sheridan is going to be receiving the ball, so they will get the Blackhawks will get the first chance on offense. Craig, we would be remiss if we didn't mention our friend Don Jellison. I think, as everybody in our audience probably knows by now, Don passed away Sunday at the age of 80. Don, you can call him nothing other than the Dean of Sports of Hamilton County, Mr. Hamilton County Sports. So many years with local newspapers in Noblesville with the Daily Ledger, and then most recently with the Hamilton County Reporter that he and his son Jeff started several years ago, one of the first internet papers.
Yep.
And that Don was truly a legend when it came to any kind of sports in Hamilton County, and he didn't cover just the big games. He covered them all.
I
mean, you would see Don everywhere. I mean,
you'd
it
see
could
him at
be
a wrestling meet.
Yeah,
you'd see him at track.
Cross country, everything. He was most definitely. Of course, he had involvement for many, many years with Babe Ruth baseball in the state commissioner, and that's how I first came across Don when I was on the president of the baseball boards in Fishers many, many years ago. Don and I spent time together working on Babe Ruth things. And we're going to have a special tribute coming up to Don at halftime, and I hope that you will have a chance to look at that. If you don't have a chance to look at it at halftime, it is on our website. We are about ready to go. Craig, take the call over, my friend.
And before we do so, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us so far this evening and throughout the night on Periscope, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And it's a short, low-lining kick picked up. Looks like there's that Brody Perry. Yes, it is. Number 29, Brody Perry picks it up at about the 31 and gets just up to the 34, 35-yard line where Sheridan will take over 1st and 10. Yeah, I believe we've got every facet of every way to watch this game tonight on Hamilton County TV.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of different ways for folks to watch it, and we certainly are happy to have you with us. And what we think is going to be an excellent game tonight. So the Blackhawks come out with the first offensive set. Joe Callahan, as usual, there in the backfield for Bud Wright's team.
Delph jabs his foot back. Burnell in motion. Handoff is to Cal. Oh, no, Delph keeps it himself up across the 35, up near the 40, and gains about 5 yards. Fooled Monroe Central's front four.
Very, very, very nice fake on that, and it caught the it caught the Golden Bears off on that one, and they just plain and simple missed that because I thought Callahan had the ball too, but I thought he was stopped dead there at the 35. But it turns out to be a 5-yard gain.
Brody Perry to the right, Anj Namke, the receiver to the near side, and run up the middle. Callahan gets it, picks up 1 yard on the play, and that's what you expected on first down the previous play. They expected Callahan to get it, so it's probably a great call on Bud Wright and Company's part. But now we've got 3rd and 4.
It's going to be interesting to see what Bud goes to here on the 3rd down play. 4 yards. Definitely not a gimme, but Joe Callahan, if he can break through that big front line of Monroe Central, he can get that for. We'll have to see what they do here.
Well, he may need to bust it outside as Cole Cummings in motion. Delph picks it himself, and he's got the first down up near the 50. He'll be down about the 48-yard line, so a nice 7-yard pickup there for Drake Delph. And Drake Delph.
Good pursuit there by the front line of the Golden Bears. Finally, big number 87, Nick Mitchell, finally got him down there, but not before he gained almost 9 yards in that play, and the Blackhawks are off and running with a first down near midfield.
8 yards on the pickup by Drake Delph. 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks at their own 49-yard line here on the left hash. In motion comes Namke. This time, hands it off. Callahan up across the 50, 45 down near the 40, and he's
got another first down, Craig. Yep. Picks up 11 on that one.
And Callahan gets his first double-digit carry of the night.
It looked like Caden Conklin got in there and got in on the tackle, but not before Joe Callahan gained 11 yards for the Blackhawks and another first down.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Sheridan at the Monroe Central 40-yard line. Glad you've joined us tonight. A little chilly outside. It looks colder, and it's going to get cooler outside. Craig Atkins alongside Brad Silbert. We've got the whole crew here. Will Wofford, Katie upstairs, and Jim Wofford keeping warm down back behind us in the truck. Delph keeps it himself to get on the keeper. Up off right tackle and finds a little bit of room. Gets 3 yards down to the 37-yard line for a 3-yard pickup.
And that was Nick Mitchell who got him again, and they're only going to give him 2 yards on that. I thought he had another yard on that. Fishers is ahead of Pike 7-0 down at Reynolds Tigers Stadium there in Fishers tonight. That is a huge game. And Tigers, of course, got shut out earlier this season by Pike, looking to avenge that loss and get another sectional victory for Rick Wimmer and company.
Well, and that's one thing they had to do was get on the scoreboard first. This time a handoff to Callahan, 35.
He's busting through. He's going to go all the way.
10-5, touchdown, Joe Callahan,
38-yard touchdown for Joe Callahan.
Wow, Callahan makes that look too easy as he scoots 38 yards right through the Golden Bear defensive line for the first touchdown of the night for the Blackhawks.
What a play by Joe Callahan. He just went right through the middle, as Craig said, and just kind of made it look easy. I think the Golden Bears were thinking that was going to be a sweep, but he just ran it right up the middle, and that's going to bring Gunnar Williams in for the extra point.
Touchdown number 28 on the season, and this kick by Gunner is up and good. And with 8:51 left here in the first quarter, barely 3 minutes into the ball game, it's Sheridan 7, Monroe Central 0.
Fans, who's celebrating 25 years in business? None other than Logan Street Signs and Banners. They specialize in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them at 317-773-7200. Visit their new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. What a start for the Blackhawks, Craig. Wow.
Yeah, 6 plays, 65 yards, and 3:09 ticking off the clock as Sheridan takes a 7-0 lead before Monroe Central gets their first. Avon making a statement in their sectional game tonight at home against Brownsburg as the Avon Orioles and Brownsburg Bulldogs fighting it out in 6A Sectional 7. It's 16-0 Avon up on Brownsburg.
Let's see how far back Gunnar Williams puts this kick. This kick is going to be received at about the 17-yard line.
That's number 5, Seth Wilson, with it. The junior running back will run that kickoff all the way out to the 35-yard line. So a nice 18-yard return for Seth Wilson, and Monroe Central will get to work here. 8:45 left here, first quarter.
Golden Bears take over 1st and 10 at the 35. Not quite the field position that the Blackhawks had on their first possession, but still good field position, 65 yards away from pay dirt. Deuce backfield.
Israel Nash went in motion.
That was Wyatt Snyder, the ball carrier.
Snyder should be the mainstay ball carrier tonight for.
Well, that deuce backfield back there is one thing that might give the Blackhawks a little bit of problem, because those two running backs there in the back, Craig, they're pretty well equal. There's not one that's, yardage-wise for the season. They're within a few yards of each other, and they both have a lot of potential there, and Snyder gets the first handoff and gains 4.
2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line. Up the middle. Right up near, looks like it's going to be a first down. Moving the chains.
I think they were a little generous on the spot
the
on
pile
that.
Yet. Yeah. That was number 4 in there. That was
Israel Nash.
Israel Nash with the carry.
So he gets 7 yards in the play, sets up the 1st and 10 at the 46.
First and 10, Golden Bears at their own 45.
Single setback. Fields
Snyder.
in motion.
Handoff is to number 5. That is Seth Wilson. So you're going to see a whole slew of different running backs.
Wilson is met almost at the line of scrimmage, but they're going to give him a yard. Setting up a 2nd and 9. He's at the 48. Look at the size of that front line there on Monroe Central, Craig. That's a big front line there.
As I say, corn-fed. Here's the pitch from Knatzer. Pitches that to number 4, Israel Nash, and he'll be out of bounds at about the 45.
There's going to be 15 tacked onto that one, because Nash was clearly several yards out of bounds when
Kane Spencer, maybe number 3.
When he got bumped by Kane Spencer, and that's going to cost the Blackhawks 15 yards. That is the kind of penalty that the Blackhawks just cannot afford to give up tonight.
And that run would have been just 1 yard shy, so it would have been 3rd and 1. Now it makes it 15 yards later from the 45 down to the 30.
So it's a net pickup of 24 yards on the play between the penalty and the gain, and it puts the Golden Bears in great position at the Blackhawk 30.
The nice 9-yard run by Israel Nash. And now it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 30 of Sheridan for the Golden Bears. As they'll
single setback now. Seth Wilson in the backfield.
And Knatzer in motion comes. Gets down to the 27 for about a 3-yard pickup, does.
I think that was Ian Pence who got him there. So they're giving him 2, make it a 2nd and 8.
Approaching the midway point of the first quarter. We'll keep you updated on all the other games.
I get the impression Monroe Central does not have much of a kicking game, Craig, so I think that they're going to just be going touchdown, touchdown, touchdown rather than
Knatzer. Little
first
screen
pass.
out there to Nick Mitchell. Finds room down the sideline, and he is inside the 15, down near the 10-yard line, actually about the 13-yard line, where he'll be knocked out of bounds.
Gadamke ran him out, but another first down.
And it looks like
I'm going to put it, at the
timeout
16?
is called by Monroe Central. Nope, by Sheridan.
Well, the Blackhawks have got to stop. Got to figure out a way to get this thing stopped. At the rate we're going in this thing, Craig, the Blackhawks went right down the field and went right through the Golden Bears on their first possession, and now the Golden Bears have come right back and come from their own 35 down to inside of the 20. They're in the red zone right now. But let me remind you that Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Give them a call with 317-773-7391 or check them out online, www.noblesvilletrophies.com, or follow them on Facebook and on Twitter. I've got to believe that somebody on Bud's staff saw something out there, Craig, that he decided to call that timeout and talk to the kids and say, try to make some kind of adjustment.
So they're going to have to, because Monroe Central is just methodically, aside from that penalty, methodically just moving down the field. Looks like number 2, Wyatt Snyder, on the carry there after the timeout. Picks up about 5, actually about 4 yards down to the 11.
I think that was a Wildcat play to him, wasn't it? Or no?
Direct.
I didn't see.
It was a quick handoff if it was.
Knatzer in there.
Looks like he might be back. Actually, no, you're right. This is Knatzer's in there. It's just a full house backfield.
He's under the center this time.
That's why it's a quick handoff. It's a quick hit handoff, and Sheridan's defensive line isn't fooled there. In there first on the stop, looked like 71 Chris Starks, a 6'2", 241-pound sophomore for the Blackhawks. Wow.
No gain on the play. That sets up a 3rd and 5. And as I was saying a little bit earlier, all the appearances we see, it does not look like the Monroe Central Golden Bears have much of a kicking game here. So I've got to assume that this is going to be 4-down territory for them rather than a field goal attempt if they don't make this.
Well, it seems like with 1A and 2A schools, they tend to go for 2. Not really go for 2, but go for it on 4th down, no matter where they're on the field. Knatzer gets the handoff, pitches it outright to Israel Nash. Nash trying to find the edge, and 5 down to about the 2-yard line. And looks like he picks up the first down.
Got the first down, and he's 2 yards away from a touchdown.
Picked up 9 on the nice kind of a short option, if you will, and it's working so far. They've had 3 plays with that option so far, and they've picked up some yardage. I believe all 3 of those have gone to Israel Nash too.
Yeah, and
7, 9, and 9.
That's most definitely a timing play between he and Knatzer, because you don't execute that properly, and that ball's laying there in the backfield. It's free for somebody to pick up.
I've seen that too many times, seeing Navy and Army and Air Force games when Notre Dame's played them. Inside handoff. Seth Wilson trying to drive at the goal line, and no, down to the 1.
Looks like they're going to give him a yard. He's at or inside the 1. Did not get into the end zone.
Picked up 2 yards, did Wilson.
2nd down and goal. Still from the 2, basically from the 2. Sheridan's going to stop here, Jonathan.
This would be a huge stop for Sheridan's defense, but they've got 2 downs to do it.
3 in the backfield.
Knatzer hands it off to Seth Wilson, and no.
He keeps trying to jump over, but
no.
He did not get over. It was a good effort by Wilson trying to get in there, but the Sheridan defense came up and just kind of pushed him upright. I guess that's all you can say.
Yeah, he obviously didn't go down, so he tried, like you said, to jump over the pile, and he was met again by who stopped him to begin with.
So from here, it looks like he's got about the length of the ball to go to get the touchdown.
Yeah, it's points like this where you hate to be the official because you're like, okay, am I spotting the ball in the right spot? 3rd and goal at the 1. Knatzer, he's got a full house behind him. And a quick handoff. Israel Nash finds it, and he gets over the goal line and in for a 1-yard touchdown by Israel Nash. Point after pending, and they ate up some clock. They ate up 6 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock. And with 2:35 left here in the first quarter, 6 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock, and Monroe Central, they're going to go for 2.
Again, with their kicking game, it does not surprise me, Craig.
They will go for 2. Looks like Seth Wilson's in the backfield. And Knatzer out to pass, and Nick Mitchell misses the pass. He looked like he was going to back up into the end zone, but he didn't have the ball yet, so the pass fails for the 2-point attempt, and 2:35 left here in the first quarter. It's Sheridan 7, Monroe Central 6.
Fans, be sure to check out the Hamilton County Television events calendar at hctvcalendar.com. Check it out for upcoming events in Hamilton County, including our local high school events. If you have events to add to the calendar, it's easy and it's free. The Hamilton County Community Calendar, it's been online since 1995 at www.hctvcalendar.com. 265-yard basically 65-yard scrimmages for both teams. The only difference is it took Monroe Central a little longer to do it in a few more plays.
Update from the west side. It's Avon 23, Brownsburg 6, and 6A Sectionals 7.
Another short kickoff.
A liner, and that's going to be number 21 of the Blackhawks, and that is
James Manis.
James Manis, yes, the junior, catches that on the second line back there, and Sheridan will take over here on this series.
They're going to be at their own 37. How many plays did
12 plays, 65 yards, 15 of those being penalty yards.
Yeah. Yep, so that makes
technically 50 yards.
Makes a big difference.
So the Blackhawks start at their own 37-yard line, 2:29 here left in quarter number 1.
Still 7-0 down at Fishers over Pike in the second quarter.
Drake Delph hands it off. Joe Callahan, he has met by looks like number 58 of the Golden Bear defense, number might be 56. Nope, that's 58, and we're jumbled with numbers here. We'll figure out who that is.
The last time Callahan had the ball, he ran it for 38 yards for a touchdown.
Nope, wrong one. So Callahan with no gain on that first down play. 4 carries, 50 yards. That's still not bad out of Callahan.
Not bad at all.
Delph back to pass, rolls out right, and finds
Anj
Namke.
Right through his hands.
Yep. Namke, a pretty good sized target. Looks like he's about 6'1", 6'2", listed at 6'2", 180, and bringing up third down.
Third and long for the Blackhawks. This will be first time tonight they've had 10 yards to go on a third down play.
This will be a test right here because obviously Monroe Central's on the scoreboard and the Blackhawks just want to keep adding to it. But they may want to go back to what isn't broke. Namke in motion, left to right. Delph Nick Purnell gets it, and
He's
Purnell is
back here.
a 1-yard loss on the play, and the Blackhawks
are going to have to punt. Be the first punt of the game for either team.
Nash and Wilson are back to return it from Monroe Central.
Yeah, it's scary. The left returner back there is Seth Wilson on the right, and Israel Nash is on the left. Scary. You've got a couple running backs back there. And this one's a low punt and going to land at about the 40. So not a good punt.
Kane Spencer down that ball at the 40, so the Golden Bears will take over an excellent field position at their own 40-yard line. Last time they had it, they held it for 8 minutes and scored a touchdown, but failed to convert on the 2-point conversion. So that's why we got a 7-6 score here in favor of the Blackhawks here with a little less than a minute remaining in the first quarter.
Golden Bears get back to it. 55.1 seconds left here in the first period.
Got to believe that the defensive coordinators on the Blackhawks had the defense on the side there. Let's see if they're going to make some adjustments here.
A little inside pitch to, looks like Wyatt Snyder up near the 50, about the 48-yard line, so an 8-yard pickup there.
Another nice run by Snyder.
And this is where their offense could be tricky. Not only are they throwing different running backs at you, but they're also throwing different schemes with an inside pitch with an option.
This is just the kind of play the coaches love to have. A second and short like this, it gives them so many options.
This will be the final play of the first quarter. 20 seconds left in quarter number 1. Knatzer by himself. Seth Wilson now behind him. Looks, pitches left, and going to be met by Gunnar Williams.
He's going to lose a little bit there. Or is he going to gain 1 or 2 or not?
He may have gotten about a yard.
I thought Williams was going to get caught in the backfield there, but he did gain a yard. And it'll be a 3rd and 1 when we come back with the second quarter. So after 1 quarter of play here from Bud Wright Stadium on the campus of Sheridan High School, Sectional 44 1A championship. It's a Sheridan Blackhawks 7, the Monroe Central Golden Bears 6. Fans Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. If you've got any questions, contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check out their website, www.ecommunity.com. We've got 1 quarter in the books here, Craig, and this game is just unraveling exactly the way we thought it would be. We thought we would have a close game. We thought we'd have a ground game, and we've got both.
Yeah, we're obviously the ground game. We're getting the ground game, and it's quite a different mix than Sheridan probably was hoping to see on that other side of the football, just because you don't want to see 3, possibly 4 different running backs. They're getting 3 back there with the look of Snyder, Wilson, and Nash. And at times they're obviously not sure what Knatzer is going to do with the ball. And it's tricky for that front 7.
Yeah, you've got to give the Golden Bears a lot of credit. The pitch like that is a very, very tough one.
Here's a shocker. About 10 minutes ago, update on Twitter. Zionsville 10, New Palestine 7. The Dragons are one of the highest scoring offenses in the state. And
Knatzer takes that one right up the middle.
Yeah, delay action. That was Nash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's 4.
Israel Nash.
We may have a little challenge with that tonight, seeing who carries the ball.
They are quick.
Yeah.
They are very, very quick, but at least we can read these uniforms compared to the uniforms we had a couple weeks ago when we were here with the white jerseys and the yellow numbers. Yep, that was a tough one.
First down and 10. First down and 10 for Monroe Central at the Sheridan 49 in motion. Wyatt Snyder still in motion back behind the backfield. And hands it off to Seth Wilson. Up the middle he goes, 45, 40, and he's taken down inside the 40, about the 37, so a 12-yard pickup and another first down for the Golden Bears.
Chris Starks made what probably could have been a touchdown-saving tackle on that. They did end up gaining about 15 on that play, Craig, and got it down to about the 37-yard line. But if Starks had not gotten onto him, he had a lot of running room ahead of him.
Yeah, if Starks wouldn't have gotten him, the Blackhawks would have been in trouble. It's 1 minute into the second quarter. Craig Atkins alongside Brad Silbert. Glad you've joined us. It's 7-6 Sheridan leading Monroe Central. The Golden Bears are driving, though. Knatzer back to pass, a little short screen on the slant, actually. And looks like Nash.
Got to give the Golden Bears a lot of credit. They've done an excellent job of mixing up the offensive plays so far tonight.
Yep, they sure have. 8-yard pickup on Nash on the play, bringing up 2nd down and 2 at the Blackhawks 31. Knatzer back there by himself. In motion is Israel Nash, and now the pitch inside. Wilson hit, bounces off. He's going to left, finds room, and inside the 25 he goes to about the 23. Gets the first down. He just kept the wheels turning, Brad.
These Golden Bears are just amazing at what they are doing here, and we were talking to some of the guys from the radio station over in Winchester that's broadcasting this game tonight, and they were saying that this team just has got a lot of weapons and a lot of moxie and a lot of guts. And we certainly have seen that tonight with another first down for the Golden Bears.
They've got 1st and 10 at the Sheridan 23-yard line. As Knatzer by himself, twins right. Here comes one inside. Knatzer, there's a flag on the play. Far side going. It's going to be way over the head of his receiver, Wyatt Snyder. We'll see what that penalty is. Might be a false start with how early that came. Oh, Fisher's making a statement. Up 14-0 now in sectional 5.
Mm-hmm. That 14-0 score is just short of halftime there at Fisher's.
False start going to be the call against Monroe Central. It's declined, bringing up 2nd down.
I think what the Blackhawks are saying is let's not give them any more down chances. The way they've been gaining. They'll take their chance with 2 downs for 10 yards rather than 3 downs for 15.
Take the incomplete pass by Casey Knatzer.
I really thought that one might have been against Sheridan because they threw the flag, and normally on an illegal procedure, that gets stopped before the play even starts.
Screen pass out of the backfield. That is Seth Snyder. Check that, Seth Wilson, and he picks up a first down.
Down about 13 or 14 before he was run out of bounds there.
Looks like at about the 11-yard line, 12 yards on the pickup. So Wilson with the nice catch on the quick out pattern. 12 yards and a first down. 1st and 10 at the Sheridan 12-yard line. Unofficially an 11-yard pickup. We'll work with him on that. Wilson. Ooh. Wilson pitches it. Now it's actually, check that, Snyder pitch. No, Knatzer pitched it. I'm getting the 2s and the 1s, and Snyder pitched it to Wilson.
But Knatzer really took a hit on that.
He did.
Wow, he took a big hit.
So somebody's at least.
We've got a timeout.
The big thing with the option is you got to pick. Someone's got to take the quarterback. Someone's got to take the pitch man.
Well, we got 9:02 remaining here in the second quarter, and the Blackhawks have already used 2 of their timeouts. Craig, I think they're using them just plain and simple because they've got to find a way to figure out how to defensively stop these Golden Bears. The Bears have just moved up and down the field at will, both on both of their possessions. They've had no trouble making first downs, getting in scoring position, and right now they're sitting at about the about the 5-yard line, about the 5 or 6 yard line, and they need 4 yards for a first down, and they can get a first down without scoring here. So it's just been, I'm not going to say it's been all Monroe Central, but they certainly have controlled the line of scrimmage so far tonight offensively.
Yeah, they've made a statement because it doesn't seem like Sheridan's quite used to this much of a rushing attack as Monroe Central is brought to the table tonight, especially with this full house look most of the time.
Seth Fields is under quarterback there.
55, the fullback in there for a touchdown. Wow, he kept going. That is Keegan Kane, 6 foot, 200-pound senior fullback. And Monroe Central, Keegan Kane shocked everybody there. Out of the timeout with a 6-yard rushing touchdown and 2 consecutive scores. Gives Monroe Central a 12-7 lead.
And they're going to go for a 2-point conversion once again.
Knatzer rolls out, passes left, and
Complete.
Easy does it. Seth Wilson catches the 2-point conversion pass. Oh, we have flags. Extracurriculars, or is it?
Well, there's a flag right about the goal line, so I'm not sure what that call is going to be. Neither team has been indicating which way that's going to go, and the officials are huddling down there trying to sort it out.
Actually, 4 of the 5 are huddling up, so you know something's up with that play. Did we have 12 on the field? Nope. Holding on the defense, declined, and the pass to Seth Wilson for the 2-point conversion is good. That makes the score Monroe Central 14, Sheridan 7 with 8:55 left here in the first half.
From personal injury claims to complex business litigations to divorce cases, Churchill and Antrim protects the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, and government bodies all around Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. Contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or visit their website, www.cchalaw.com. Church, Hiddle and Antrim in beautiful downtown Noblesville. 8:55 remaining here in the first half. So far, with the exception of the first possession, it's been all Monroe Central.
Yeah, Monroe Central has put their stamp of rushing the ball, except for 4 plays. They've had 4 passing plays. But
how long did they have that on that last one, Craig?
Let's see. They had that from the 55-second mark. Let's see. Let's call this.
That's going to be an offside.
They had that for exactly 4 minutes.
And I think they started at the 40-yard line, if I'm not mistaken, so that's 60 yards.
Yep, they started at the 40, so they marched in 4 minutes, 60 yards, and they did it kind of just that finesse way.
They just kept going and going, and they kind of did it Energizer Bunny style. They just kept going and going and going and going and going.
Yep, and they figured out we can use Nash here, Wilson here, Snyder here, Knatzer here.
They did an excellent job of mixing it up.
Yep, throw the ball to Mitchell. And this one, a short one, picked up by Gunnar Williams at the 30. Tries to find room, goes east, now back west, and now south.
Williams came up with about a 10-yard return on that. He received that ball at the 30.
He probably went about 16 or 17 just to get the 10.
Yeah, I kind of thought that he might let that go because I think that may have gone out of bounds, but probably was a wise thing for him to field that because that being a live ball, that takes a bad bounce, and the Monroe Central folks can just jump right on that, and away they go.
You got it. Blackhawks first and 10 at their own 48 here in the second quarter. And a little bit of a breeze is picked up, as we can see in the north end zone. The American flag's got a little breeze going, and Callahan picks his feet up a little bit, spins up to the 45 and up near the 47.
That's all Joe Callahan on that one, and finally stopped on the play by big number 70, Tucker Young, a 6'5", 315-pound defensive lineman.
Wow.
And he was quick for 315 pounds. But Callahan through his own effort, gained 6 yards on that.
He's also got one right near him. Tyler Haney, 6'2", 310.
Yeah, they got some size out there.
Delph hands it off to Callahan. He gets up near midfield, and he finds himself right at the 50 for a 3-yard pickup, which will get the Blackhawks a first down.
First down at midfield for Joe Callahan. Blackhawk faithful finally have something to cheer about here after since they scored that touchdown early in the first quarter. It's been kind of quiet here on the west side of the stadium.
First down, Sheridan at midfield. Trying to liven up the Blackhawk fans. Delph hands it off. Little stutter step by Callahan. He gains a couple. Brings up a... That's what our phones are good for, paperweight.
Yes. We need it tonight with that wind picking up. When this game started, the light wind was kind of light and breezy, and now it has really picked up considerably.
7:15 left here in the first half of play. Sheridan with it at the Monroe Central 48. Delph gets Anj Namke in motion. Oh, false start. Yep, You could see that a mile away.
That's going to cost him 5 yards.
It looked like 62 Tanner Swindle as he jumped from that right tackle spot of his. So that's going to march it back 5 yards for the second Blackhawk penalty.
So instead of 2nd and 8, it'll be 2nd and 13 from the 47. Blackhawks back on their own side of the midfield stripe again. Drake Delph had come over to the sideline to talk to the coaching staff while the penalty was being marched off. So let's see what he brought in from there.
Looks like Cole Cummings to the far side. In the slot is Anj Namke and Brody Perry here to the air. Namke in motion. The pitch to Anj Namke. Namke finds room and tries to break outside, but he doesn't even get back to the line.
He's going to lose another yard or two there.
Yep.
Looks like they're going to mark it at the 45, so he lost a couple more yards on that, Craig, so it's going to be a 3rd and 15.
So trying to mix it up by the kind of reverse pitch there to Anj Namke, and he drops a couple because that did not fool the Golden Bear defense at all. The defensive backs played up and they stayed up.
I'm amazed at the size of these defensive backs for the Golden Bears, how quick they are.
Yeah.
Delph's going to have to put this one in the air.
Speaking of, he does this. Brody Perry and catches the ball at the 30, 25, 20, down to the 17-yard line. A huge pickup of 29 yards.
Nick Mitchell was the only thing between him and the goal line. Otherwise, it would have been 6 points on the board. As it is, he's all the way down to the 16-yard line inside the red zone once again for the Blackhawks.
39 yards on the pickup by Brody Perry. And just like you said, Delph needed to have a big pass right there, and he did. Right there to Brody Perry, and a huge pickup on 3rd down there. Callahan finds room off the left side, and he fumbled the football, and Monroe Central
has the ball.
Recovered by number 4, Israel Nash. Wow.
What a bad break for the Blackhawks, but a good break for the Bears because the Blackhawks had regained some momentum there on that, especially on that last pass play. They were knocking on the door, looking like they could potentially tie this game up. But now deep in their own territory, the Golden Bears are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
So the worst field position of either team tonight, as on Callahan's 8th carry of the game, he fumbles the football into the hands of Israel Nash, and with 5:43 left until half, Monroe Central takes over. Knatzer back to pass, and I'm not sure if that was the wrong route ran by Nash, but good coverage by Anj Namke.
Yeah, Namke made a really, really good, was very well covering Nash there, but it was almost like they slowed down on each other, and there was a little bit of incidental contact there, but Not enough for a flag. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have a tribute to our late friend Don Jellison coming up here at halftime. And Monroe Central elects to take a timeout here with 5:38. That'll be their first timeout. That'll give us time to remind you that Smith's Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel, for over 65 years. You know, in that time, many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer certainly would be their outstanding jewelry collection, selection, and their customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith's Jewelers is eager to give their customers a memorable, positive experience. You can contact them at 317-773-3383 or visit them online, www.smithsonthe.square.com. We're 5:38 away from halftime. Once again, to just remind you, we'll be having a tribute to our late friend Don Jellison coming up at halftime. If you can't see that at halftime tonight, you can always go to www.hamiltoncountytelevision.com, and it's available on demand for you to look at also. Craig?
Back to it out of the timeout. Monroe Central has 2nd down and 10 at their own 13. 5:38 left till half. Wilson in motion. And that ball is carried by, I believe, number 4, Israel Nash.
Nash was the one who missed that pass last time, ran about 50 yards down the field, and then just came right back after that timeout, had a little breather, and gained about 6 yards to make a more manageable 3rd down here at 3rd and 4.
Now 3rd and 4 at the 19-yard line. 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes left till half.
Blackhawks need a stop here.
Knatzer. Nope, it's Wyatt Snyder. He gets up to about the 24.
Close, but he's going to have the first down. Got it by about a yard.
The 6th rushing first down for.
We're going to mark it right at the 35-yard line.
Check that, 25.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I almost said the same thing. 6 yards on the pickup by Wyatt Snyder. And Monroe Central clock is rolling again. 1st and 10 at their own 25. As they are trying to eat up as much clock as possible.
Well, with the number of running plays we've had tonight, the game has moved along rather quickly, which you would expect with a running game.
This they've had 20 rushing carries so far tonight. Huge tackle, and in pursuit on the way, Anj Namke tackles Seth Wilson for a loss on the play.
I think that's the first loss that the Blackhawks have pinned on the Golden Bears all evening.
Yep, it is, to my count. That's the first negative play. They've had a couple no gains.
We'll bring up a 2nd and 11. The other thing that goes in the Golden Bears' favor is they get the ball to open the second half.
Yep, that's one thing I was going to allude to a moment ago, is that they're going to take their time and just run the ball like they have been, because they'll get the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter, and that plays a huge into their advantage. Inside handoff there. And this is 55, the fullback, Keegan Kane. Gets up to about the 27. 2-yard pickup by Kane. Kane is the difference in this game right now with that last touchdown of 6 yards on the previous possession. 3rd down and 8 at the 28.
A lot of noise coming from the Blackhawks side over here.
And Wilson, check that, Wyatt Snyder takes it up across the 40. He dives down about the 40-yard line where they'll mark him. 12-yard pickup.
These guys get off that ball so quickly, Craig, and they are fast.
Yep. First down and 10 for Monroe Central at the 40-yard line. 12-yard pickup on the carry by Wyatt Snyder. As that honestly looked like it looks like it's a direct snap on a Wildcat, but Knatzer gets the ball to him so quickly that that's how it looks. Twins here to the near side, and Israel Nash in motion. Knatzer back to pass, and he is drilled in the backfield. Joe Callahan along with, if I can pick out the other.
Best pass rush of the evening so far for the Blackhawks.
And that's Tanner Swindle, 62. So that drops a huge loss. 8 yards on the loss for.
Some of the Monroe Central faithful, they were asking for a penalty flag on that because it looked like there may have been just a late hit, just a slight bit of a late hit there, but probably a good no call by the officiating staff. Big second and 18.
Big second down and 18 at the 33. They need midfield for the first down. 148 and counting. Handoff is to Keegan Kane, the fullback.
Now there is a flag thrown.
Yep, the fullback, Keegan Kane, lost a yard back to the 32, but we'll see what this flag is.
There's 2 flags that have been thrown there, one from each side.
So technically it will be a 1-yard loss by Kane, but it looks like the Sheridan defense is moving toward midfield, and Callahan throws his hands up like, I don't know what's going on.
I wonder if they got a face mask violation.
So,
because that came from 2 different officials.
So it looks
it's
like
going to be a 15-yarder.
15-yarder. But this may be the variety of where it's actually it was a spot foul, so it gets it up to the 47. Yeah.
Yep, 15-yard face mask, and they're going to give him the first down. Now they still got second down, but didn't he motion first down? I thought he did.
He may have motioned it, but I think it's the rule. I think it was last year it was instituted that it's not an automatic first down anymore. Inside handoff and up almost to midfield, and it gets actually the
second
push.
Effort.
Wow, second effort, huge. As 67 Haney and Young and 70 Young.
Well, you get some of those 300-pound linemen pushing on there, and that definitely makes a difference. So the Blackhawks have had a couple bad penalties tonight that have really, really cost them in a turnover so far. And we're just about down to 1 minute here, and the Golden Bears trying to do what they can do to get 50 yards in a minute here to get on the board again.
Clock's rolling. Knatzer back in the pocket to pass. Has time and
overthrows.
Way over the outreached hands as he dove like Superman, did Wyatt Snyder, and an incomplete pass.
That does stop the clock with 54.4.
Second down and 10 at midfield. They only gave him 2 midfield on that carry, so the second effort from Monroe Central didn't unfortunately go, but that got them the first down from the previous play.
I think what they decided on that, Craig, was he had gotten to the 50. Sheridan had him stopped, and then the offensive lineman for Monroe Central tried to give him a little boost, which is, of course, not allowed.
No. Knatzer back to pass again, and in between receivers, Wyatt Snyder turned the wrong way. He turned toward the inside of the hash, and it went to the outside. So incomplete, bringing up third down and 10 at midfield.
The other receiver down there was Matt Poole, and you really couldn't tell who that was going to, but you'd have to guess it was probably intended for Snyder.
Big third down and 10, 51.1 left until halftime. And like we said, folks, please stick around at halftime. We will have a nice tribute to our late friend Don Jellison, who passed away on Sunday, the legendary Don Jellison. Timeout called on the field by the Golden Bears.
Well, we have a timeout on the field. Let's remind you that there's no job too small or too big for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing water, fire, or storm and mold remediation, or if you're just a homeowner who simply needs a good carpet cleaning, Indiana Restoration has you covered. Contact them at 317-776-9942 or visit them online, www.indianarestoration.com. And fans, Bill Clifford is currently a sergeant with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and has committed his life to serving the community with integrity. As a resident of Westfield with his wife Cheryl and their 3 kids, family safety is Clifford's top priority. He understands the Sheriff's Office must be proactive against new threats in order to best protect you. For more information, follow the campaign on Facebook at Clifford for Sheriff. And remember to vote for Bill Clifford in the Hamilton County Sheriff's primary on May 8th, 2018. Follow him on Facebook at Clifford for Sheriff. Their website, www.cliffordforsheriff.com.
It's hard to believe we're 6 months away from those voting primaries.
Yep.
Back to it out of the timeout. Monroe Central. Knatzer in the gun. He's got two wing backs. Knatzer back to pass. The rush is on. Has time. Double pumps and goes long. And incomplete pass. Drake Delph on the coverage.
Wow.
Looked like Nick Mitchell, I believe.
Yep, that was number 87, Mitchell.
Yep.
I thought he had that ball at first, and Delph got in there and did such a good job of breaking that up.
I think the one thing that helped Drake Delph, he turned a little bit and looked. He saw the ball because I think he saw the eyes of Nick Mitchell.
Yeah.
Or else they can call. Normally, if you make contact like that and you're not, you're face guarding.
First punt of the game for the Golden Bears.
Kind of a low liner. Namke has it. Fingertips on the catch, and he is down at the 25-yard line, where Sheridan will have 36.6 seconds left.
That is just fantastic pursuit by Seth Wilson. He got down there and took Namke down. He maybe, what did he return at? Maybe not even 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, if that.
And the Blackhawks will have the ball at the 25. I believe they have one timeout left if they do choose to use it. But with 36.6 left here, I wonder if they're just going to take a knee or they're going to try some razzle-dazzle here. Craig, what do you think?
It's hard telling because we've seen a lot of plays where Callahan can just break loose, and this does not look like a victory formation to me.
No, it doesn't.
So Drake Delph under center. In motion comes Nick Burnell. Delph looking again, and Namke into. Oh, it is caught by Callahan. Did he catch it? He did.
It was tipped and caught.
Wow. 10-yard catch. Great tip and rip, if you will, off the hands of
Not
Namke.
enough for a first down. And the Blackhawks hurry up here with less than 15 seconds on the clock.
Delph back to pass to Nick Burnell. Up and to the 35.
And that is going to put 2.8 seconds left on the clock there. The clock is stopped for the first down. And the Blackhawks call their final timeout of the half, so they'll have one more play here. We're looking for some kind of a Hail Mary or something for the Blackhawks to try to get loose here.
That was a tough 1-yard catch there by Nick Burnell.
Wow. Well, so far the scores that we have got, Craig, around the area at halftime now, it's Fishers over Pike, 14-0. Quite a change from what happened between the Red Devils and the Tigers earlier in the season, when the Tigers were on the short end of a shutout. The Brownsburg Bulldogs, I believe Avon's ahead of them, aren't they?
Last we heard it was 23-7, Avon up on Brownsburg. Yeah, I think Fishers has grown up since that point.
Yes. Yeah.
And obviously with the tough HCC schedule, and Pike, again, with the tough mixed schedule, both those teams came in 6-4 tonight.
Yeah.
Back to it out of the timeout. And Delph under center. We're probably going to see this thing aired out, and he's back to pass. Delph going up the sideline and out of bounds.
Out of bounds, and that'll be the final play of the half.
Intended for Brody Perry, and that gets us to halftime. And our halftime score, Monroe Central 14, Sheridan 7.
We'd like to welcome you to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Class 1A Sectional 44, the sectional championship between the Monroe Central Golden Bears and the Sheridan Blackhawks here on Hamilton County Television, presented by Logan Street Signs and Manners, celebrating 25 years in business. We'd also like to thank our other great participating sponsors: Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, the Hamilton County Television Calendars, the Noblesville Chamber of Commerce, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. We're going to take a break to hear from our great sponsors here, and then right after that, please stay tuned for our tribute to Don Jellison here on Hamilton County Television.
Welcome to the Hamilton County Sports Reporter. I'm Perry Williams, along with Don Jellison, the editor of the Hamilton County Reporter of Noblesville.
Now it's a big slab out there.
Yeah. That's your favorite slab, isn't it?
Can't your wife do something about that?
Well, that's on the city. The city owns that. So
I've talked to the mayor about it. And
yeah, I know. You had a series of articles on that.
Yeah, it's a big slab. I mean, that looks terrible.
Well, the Greyhounds are going to play.
Don't you think it looks terrible?
Yeah, I do. Don want to get his plug in there about the old Firestone plant, so we got to make sure we got to get it in there.
That's my bloodline.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome. I'm Perry Williams, and today I got two Indiana Hall of Famers in the house, and we're going to talk about the sectional drawing that went on yesterday. To my left is Dave Nicholson, who was a Noblesville coach and actually had an undefeated season here at Noblesville. And on my right is Don Jellison, who is the Hamilton County Reporter, newspaper editor.
Who pulled him through all the seasons that weren't undefeated.
That's a good one.
Oh, okay. Chuck Godby.
Oh, okay.
And Chuck's a little slow sometimes. But he'll have the best story by the time it's over.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I like the schedule that you played and went through some of those teams.
Don's a good writer, but his memory fades at times.
Really outstanding coverage of the state wrestling meet.
He's actually done a great job the last couple of weeks because he covered that girls swimming meet very, very well too. So, and I know both of those sports are your favorite sports.
Yeah,
you and him have to fight each other on who's going to cover those games.
I don't fight Richie on anything. He's the number one man at our newspaper.
That's right.
Don't tell Jeff that, but he is.
Oh, okay. Well, Jeff's probably going to watch this show now. So
yeah, well, he doesn't have anything else to do. I mean, got all of us out working. Did he tell us who his best shooter was?
No, and you knew he wasn't going to do that.
I named him Jason Whiteley.
You knew
someday I'm going to get you and Bud Wright in the same room. Have you pick your all-time great teams.
Oh dear.
Upset picks.
Okay, and who did I pick last year?
I don't remember.
Oh, gee.
We got rid of Nicholson. We can talk about that. Nicholson still thinks that basketball is king in Indiana. I mean, Indiana hasn't been king in high school basketball for 20 years. And now the players just go everywhere. They go to Michigan State. They go to Michigan. Steve Alford's probably going to get a bunch of them out at UCLA now. But I don't know what's wrong with basketball in Indiana. We can't even have one college team that makes the NCAA tournament or the NIT tournament. Not one college
now
team.
Indiana State made the NIT.
That's what I say, one college team.
That's my alma mater.
I know that.
From Indiana State.
You and Larry Bird.
Me and Larry Bird together. Yeah. The paper on, I think it was Friday's Star, kind of mixed it up a little bit because I was out of town this weekend, so I had to read all those sports pages yesterday. But
if you'd been reading the Times, if you'd been reading the Reporter, you could have gotten up at 4:00 in the morning in Tennessee and read a local paper.
I did read the local paper.
It's local backyard news. There's not a lot of state news. Then you get your national news with the Pacers and Colts and everything. But I got a Sid story to tell you.
Okay. Tell me the Sid story.
This is a rumor over about 50 years ago when President Harry Truman came through Noblesville on a train, and they stopped the train right there where the government center is today. I think it was a hatchery there before, or a mill or something. And the train was late getting out of Noblesville. And I was just a kid then, but I heard the rumor that the reason they were late is because they were getting the president a beer at Sid's. And I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think Rick was there at that time.
No, I doubt if Rick was there then.
But
if you was just a kid.
I was just a kid. I remember. I went up there. He stopped right on the corner of right where the railroad tracks are all torn up now. He would probably been upset going over that railroad track back then.
Yeah, it'd be pretty tough today, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but he
Are
did.
you sure he wasn't getting one of Sid's famous breaded tenderloins?
Well, that might have been true, but I don't know about
the beer
that.
story was a better story.
I never heard about Sid's tenderloins back in those days.
Oh,
So I'm sure Rick probably invented those when he.
yeah, he made those famous.
As I've written several times, I love Richmond, and that's where they're going to play. It's just a really a thrill for me to go back to Richmond after going to school at Earlham, and that was during Richmond's heydays. They really had some great basketball players back in those days. So, but I've got a big assignment this weekend. They're having a concert at Adrian College, and I have to take my grandson over there.
Well, that's nice.
He was trying to inform me last night about the two bands that's playing. Wanted to know if I'd heard this song or that song.
And I'm sure what your answer was.
I didn't. I'm going to be the driver, and that's about it. Wednesday to make sure you get the reporter and find out who's the player of the year. I'm sure it's going to be very controversial.
It always is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, I thought, well, yeah, last year was controversial too.
Hey, morning, Perry. A little joke there. Don says, "Don't say good morning." So I didn't, and so he did.
AJ's a homer.
Now AJ says he's not a homer.
AJ's a homer for the Huskies.
Welcome back to Bud Wright Stadium on the campus of Sheridan High School in Sheridan, Indiana. Tonight, Hamilton County Television proud to present the Sheridan Blackhawks entertaining the Monroe Central Golden Bears here in sectional number 44, 1A football. Brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. Our other participating sponsors include Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, the Hamilton County Television Calendars, the Noblesville Chamber of Commerce, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. My name is Brad Silbert here with Craig Atkins from Bud Wright Stadium here in Sheridan. It's halftime in what is really turned out to be about what we thought it would be score-wise, except, Craig, when you look at this game in the first half, you've got to say that the Muncie Central Golden Bears basically dominated the first half. In not only dominated it, but Sheridan made a couple of mistakes, a couple costly penalties, and a turnover that took them out of possible scoring opportunities. So we've got a 7-point lead for the Golden Bears, and they will take the ball here in the beginning of the third quarter. Couple scores from around the area over at Reynolds Tiger Stadium in Fishers. It's the Fishers Tigers over Pike 14-7. At Carmel, the Greyhounds are leading Lafayette Jeff 17-8. It's now Zionsville over New Palestine 10-7, and Avon over Brownsburg 30-13. Have you got any other scores you want to add to that, Craig?
I want to try and chase some down. As obviously Twitter updates by the second. It seems like not seeing any. I may check to see if we can pick out another. You're getting updates from Wes Sheely on Fishers and Pike, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'll see if I can chase down a Zionsville score tonight as they are facing a tough New Palestine team who's one of the top scoring teams in the state, if
yes,
not the
is.
top.
We're about 1 minute away from the beginning of the third quarter here at Sheridan. Craig, what do the Blackhawks have to do to get back into this game?
What Sheridan's got to do, you have to get back to your bread and butter. They have to do what they've done all year long, is Joe Callahan, a steady diet of Joe Callahan. And it's, don't shy away from what's gotten you here to the sectional championship. And aside from those two losses they've had this season to Western Boone and Tipton, a couple 3A squads, aside from that, Sheridan has played a marvelous football season, and it needs to continue to do what they do best, is rush the ball. And at times, like we saw with that big 38-yard pass, that big pass, 39-yarder to Brody Perry from Drake Delph, they need to do what they do best. As Gunnar Williams is set to kick this ball off from the 40, and he does. And that's going to be Nash. Check that. Seth Wilson from the 15. Up the middle he goes, and he is met by a host of Blackhawks at the 25 for a 10-yard kickoff return.
Zach Oberle led on the tackle for that for the Blackhawks, about a 10-yard return. And so the Golden Bears start out the third quarter with a 1st and 10 from their own 25.
Pretty decent field position from the 25, and that harvest moon has risen above in the east as we start the second half. Craig Atkins with Brad Silbert. And Brad's doing what I think I'm going to do here shortly, is put the hood up over my headset because I've got a slight breeze going, and
it's blowing in
nippy
tonight.
Little inside reverse. Nash up the middle, 40.
He's going to car.
40, 35, 30, down inside the 30-yard line. Anj Namke stops him, or he would have been to the house for the touchdown. But taken down at the 26. First play of the second half.
Namke is down also.
Yeah, if it weren't for Namke's stop. After the 49-yard pickup.
Namke gets up, but he's a little bit gingy, and he goes back down. He's going to have to come out of this game. First play from scrimmage, the Golden Bears go 40 yards. Wow.
I believe that was unofficially 49 yards. From the 25 down to Sheridan's 26, and Namke on his back right now.
I didn't think Namke was going to catch up to him, but he did a great job of catching up to him and made the touchdown-saving tackle.
While we're hanging on here for a second, I'll give you a little update on Monroe Central. I know some of you might be wondering, where is Monroe?
Namke is back up.
Parker City, Indiana.
Kind of shaking his right ankle, I think, and they were obviously hoping it wasn't anything bad, and he is on his feet, walking out off the field under his own power. Always the best sign for any player who goes down.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to walk that off and get back in the game, because that would be a huge loss for the Blackhawks if he cannot get back into this game.
Yeah, he's a huge.
He's coming off. He's limping off in quite a bit of pain there.
A little more tender than when he first started walking, and now he takes his helmet off. He'll be examined by athletic trainer down there for the Blackhawks.
So 49 yards on their first play from scrimmage for the Bears.
Their 9th rushing first down. Knatzer now with Nash in motion. Hand off. Nope. Keeps it himself, does Wyatt Snyder. Actually, doesn't keep it himself. Knatzer with a quick handoff to Snyder.
And we were saying at halftime that this team, this Monroe Central team, this is one of the fastest teams that I have seen all season long. They are very, very quick.
They're very quick with the handoffs, and they just execute their offense to the T, if you will.
Cold weather is not stopping them at all tonight.
Nope, they must have had the bus on high heat. The pitch from Knatzer. Inside the 20 goes Seth Wilson, number 5.
I think they did it just the opposite. I think they came up with the windows open, so when the kids got here.
You know, not the worst idea in the world. 3-yard pickup there by Seth Wilson on the play, bringing up 3rd and 2 at the Sheridan 19-yard line. Yeah, probably not the worst idea. I mean, all the way from Parker City over in Randolph County.
They came halfway across the state.
Yeah, coming through cornfields, and Nash in motion right to left. Handoff is to Keegan Kane, and up the middle he goes for the first down. Down to about the 13-yard line, a 6-yard pickup by Kane, another 6-yard.
Keegan Kane, a 6-foot, 200-pound fullback. And once again, the Golden Bears not only moving the football, but taking the time off of the clock.
Yeah, they've already taken 2 minutes off this third quarter clock as they started at 25 and they're down inside the 15.
Kind of a broken play there.
Israel Nash, the ball carrier, gets
Nash
down maybe a yard.
He didn't have anywhere to go. If he got a yard, he was lucky. He probably did get a yard or so on that. Bud Wright coaching game number 602 in his illustrious career.
Yeah, I love seeing at the end of the night on Sectional Football Friday, seeing all the scores unveil and see who advances. It's going to be interesting. We've got a lot of matchups, the ones we've been talking about tonight. And it's like we've said before, it's kind of odd to see Fishers in the South.
Got a timeout here that's been called by the Monroe Central. Just got a score update here in the third quarter. 3:32 or 3:42 in the third quarter. 21-7 now in favor of the Tigers over the Pike Red Devils. Let's remind you that celebrating 25 years is Logan Street Signs and Banners, specializing in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Give them a call, 317-773-7200, or visit their new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com, or follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Craig, how many ways can people follow us tonight? There's a ton of them out there. Man, oh man, we're all over the place.
Every way possible.
What's that old saying? We're everywhere?
We're everywhere. Every facet of Hamilton County TV tonight, whether it's the old-fashioned HC, listen to me like it's old, HCTV1.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Periscope.
Yeah.
And Jim, you're going to have to tell me exactly our new, fangled Oh, yep.
That's going to be.
An update from Greyhound Stadium. Carmel extending their lead. Now it's 24-8 as they've scored another touchdown after that field goal to lead Lafayette Jeff. Lafayette Jeff 10-0 this year.
Yeah. Of course, that's another situation for Lafayette Jeff. Nothing against Lafayette Jeff.
Yeah.
I used to live in Lafayette. It's a
North
great
Central
town.
Conference.
But that conference just is not as strong as what we're accustomed to in Hamilton and Marion County.
Yeah, probably the biggest test they've had all year is probably Harrison and McCutcheon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nash in motion, but up the middle goes Wyatt Snyder, number 2.
He's going to be close to the first down, but I don't think he's going to get it. Going to bring up probably a third and short.
Another couple yards.
Tigers surprising a lot of people tonight. A lot of people thought that Pike, with the season that they had, Craig, would easily take the Tigers down tonight, but so far the Tigers are ahead of them by 14 in the third quarter.
It could be Fisher's going on the road next week if Warren Central holds on against Ben Davis at Ben. Yep, nope, not going to get the first down. Israel Nash.
Going to bring up a fourth down situation for the Bears here with a 7-point lead, 8 minutes here in the third quarter.
Check that. That was Keegan Kane on the carry for 1 yard. So it's a fourth down and 1 at the Sheridan 6. Huge for the Blackhawk defense right here, Brad.
Yeah, this is this could be the play of the game because what I'm afraid of for the Blackhawks here, Craig, is if they get down by 14 points with the way Monroe Central's been playing, it's going to be difficult for them to come back.
Here he goes.
And the pass into the hands of Seth Wilson for the touchdown.
There's a flag.
Holding on the offense, and the Blackhawk faithful here in front of us go nuts.
Wow. I was just about ready to make a comment on that the Blackhawks are digging themselves a hole, and I happened to see that yellow flag sitting out there on the 10-yard line.
So, and believe it or not, I believe that's the first Monroe Central penalty.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
yes,
10
it
yards.
Is.
Sheridan's had 4 penalties.
And that's a spot foul, too, so that is huge. They actually end up – 24, does he say 24?
24-14 now the score at Greyhound Stadium. Lafayette Jeff has scored. So
another fourth down play here, but instead of 4th and 2, it's now about 4th and 16.
Back at the 20, and a huge one. Knatzer back to pass, goes end zone, and touchdown. I believe that's number 20, Matt Poole. Yep, Matt Poole with the 20-yard touchdown catch on 4th and 18.
Matt Poole made the catch on that.
As he's getting hit, he throws a dime. I mean, how do you stop it? Sheridan did everything they could, and they still couldn't stop it.
So once again, we're going to have another timeout here called by Monroe Central. And, Craig, this is not looking very good right now for the Blackhawks. They came out, scored the first points of the game in the first quarter, and they got near the end zone in the second quarter, but penalties and a turnover have kept them out of the end zone again. And right now they are down by 13 points, and I'm assuming here that Monroe Central's probably going to go for another 2-point conversion here. If they do make that, that'll make it a 15-point lead. But a nice 20-yard pass there to Matt Poole to give the the Monroe Central Golden Bears the lead. See what they're going to do here, how they're lining up. They are definitely lining up for the 2-point conversion.
Lining up for it, looks like here on the right will be Wyatt Snyder. Poole, who caught the touchdown, will be wide to the left. In the backfield will be Knatzer, flanked. Oh, ball on the turf. Back, Knatzer passes, and off the hands of the intended receiver that looks like Nick Mitchell, and that's a huge, the second time out of 3 that the pass failed. And so with 7:11 left, third quarter, it's Monroe Central 20, Sheridan 7.
Celebrating 25 years as Logan Street Signs and Banners, specializing in last-minute signage and banners. Serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them at 317-773-7200. Visit their brand new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. A 13-point lead for the Monroe Central Golden Bears. Other than the opening drive of the first quarter, the Blackhawks have not been able to do much so far tonight.
And it's a low liner, going to be right into the hands of that Brody Perry. That's Gunnar Williams, number 2, up the side, and going to get Sheridan some great field position up around the 45, about the 43-yard line where they'll start this drive.
Williams with about a 20-yard kickoff return there. Puts the Blackhawks in good shape at the 43-yard line. But so far since that opening drive, Craig, the Blackhawks just have not been able to put anything together and get into the end zone. They were looking like they were going to score there in the second half, potentially to tie it up at a 14-14 game, but penalties and turnovers kept them out of the end zone.
Speaking of Anj Namke here on the near side receiver. Delph keeps it himself and finds room up across the 45, picks up about 4 yards to the 47-yard line. And that's good to see Anj Namke back on the field after he tweaked an ankle last series.
I think that was Tapmanship with the tackle there.
Bringing up 2nd down and 6 at the 40 at their own 47.
Blackhawks have got their back against the wall right now, Craig. They need some points on this drive.
Got to get some points because you cannot put the ball back in Monroe Central's hands. Handoff, and going nowhere is Joe Callahan.
I don't even know if he got back to the line. It looks like they may have given him back to the line of scrimmage.
That's
probably very generous.
Yeah, generous at that because it didn't appear that Callahan even got that far.
Yeah.
But they knocked him back to the 45, but his forward progress gives them no gain, so it's 3rd and 6 from the 47.
You know, usually in the games we've seen Joe Callahan earlier this season in, Craig, he gets that full head of steam up there, and he bounces off several players and turns around and goes around in circles and manages to get some yards. That time he didn't get any, and he's got a 3rd and 6.
Burnell in motion. Now the handoff. Nope, Drake Delph passes to Namke, and he is tackled.
Net on the play is he's going to end up losing about 7 yards on that. He would have been much better off if he would have just let that one go and not caught the ball. So it'll bring up about a 4th and 13 for the Blackhawks. I think that's Gunnar Williams into punt, isn't it?
Yep, that's Gunnar Williams back there just inside his own 30. And it looks like Snyder and Wilson back to receive this punt. Spiraling punt, and this one's going to roll a little bit and get a generous bounce and be down by the Blackhawks.
About the 21.
So roughly a net of 29 yards on the punt. Check that, 39. Down to the 22-yard line where Monroe Central takes over. That doesn't do Sheridan any favors.
No, Monroe Central seemed, everything has been, everything that they've done tonight has been right so far. To their credit, they've obviously come up with a great game plan and executed extremely well. That 4th and 16 that 4th and 16, 4th and 18, scored a touchdown on it.
Yep, 4th and 18.
How often do you see that
from
happen?
The 20 and scored a touchdown. We'll see what they can do here as in motion is Wyatt Snyder. The handoff this time is to Israel Nash. And short gain up to about the 24, close to the 24, couple yards.
The Avon Orioles are rolling over the Brownsburg Bulldogs, 44 to, was it 19, I think?
44 to 19. All Avon over there in Oriole country. 4:15 and counting here, third quarter, second down and 9. And
there's the pitch.
Pitches. That's Wyatt Snyder. And Delph runs him out of bounds, and there's a flag, so maybe a late hit.
I don't see where that could have happened. The first one absolutely.
You know, it's hard to see from our angle what happened over there, Craig, but it's obvious that the call is probably going to be unnecessary roughness, I would assume, or possibly a face mask, and they're already marking it off. It's going to be a 15-yarder.
So that's from the
end of the run.
End of the run. So from the 27, it was a 3-yard pickup on the gain, and then it'll be 15 yards from there. So the fifth
unnecessary roughness.
Fifth penalty by the Blackhawks, totaling 55 yards. Check that, 55 yards.
Penalties have really hurt the Blackhawks this evening. It's taken them out of a couple possible scoring opportunities and given new life to the Golden Bears a couple times.
You got that right, and that penalty by first down. Knatzer with the inside pitch, and that's eaten up.
Is that, wow. I thought there was going to be a fumble on that one, but there wasn't.
Tanner Swindle on the coverage there as he drops for a 2-yard loss.
One of the better defensive plays of the whole game for the Blackhawks. The way he, that pitch is such a timing situation between the quarterback and the runner, and they've got to be so precise on that.
And especially in tight traffic like that.
Yeah, and, and it was, they were just like within a couple of feet of each other, and it looked like the runner was having a hard time picking up that ball and putting it away. I thought the Blackhawks might knock it out there. Loss of a yard on the play.
Yeah, Nash is in there. In the backfield, I saw Knatzer split to the out wide here.
So technically, do we call that Wildcat, or we just call that a different quarterback?
Well, if that was, I believe we would call that Wildcat.
Yeah.
2-yard pickup, actually 3-yard pickup up to the 44.
Yeah, we got Wildcats, we got shotguns, we got I formations. We got them all.
Full house, you know. Take your pick on what kind of backfield formation Monroe Central's been in it tonight.
Somebody will come up with a new one next year.
Oh, yeah. Knatzer back there. The rush. Almost sacked there by Callahan, and Namke slips, but good thing the ball went out of bounds. Intended for Nick Mitchell.
Was over Mitchell's head, and had that ball not been over Mitchell's head, with Namke going to the ground, Mitchell would have had 6.
And the punt team coming out for the Monroe Central Bears. The Greyhounds score again.
Looks like the Lafayette Jefferson Broncos are going to be defeated tonight and lose their perfect season there in Carmel.
And the punt on the way.
Fair catch.
Oh, got to get on the ball. Namke. Yep, he fair caught it, so he cannot move from once he picks the ball up, but he did almost lose the ball. And now Sheridan will have the ball back, and it seems like for once Monroe Central didn't score.
Yeah, that's only their second punt of the game.
Yep, their second punt, and Sheridan has punted twice.
But this, normally you'd look with 2 minutes left in the third quarter and say a 13-point lead is not a big lead.
It's big in this game.
It is huge in this game because of the way that
Delph back to pass. Brody Perry stopped his route at one point. If he would have kept it, and no call.
I don't agree with that.
Right, Wyatt Snyder on the coverage.
Yeah,
and takes
that
down
ball
Brody
was
Perry.
Clearly over his head, and he still went to make the tackle. I got to disagree with that one.
So it'll be second down and 10 at the 29-yard line.
With the way that Monroe Central has been playing tonight, Craig. A 13-point lead. In a normal game, it would be the equivalent of like a 20 or 25-point lead.
You got that right. Delph hands it off this time. It's Callahan. Bounces off one of his tackles.
Doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. If he did, he didn't get much.
Generous once again, so his first 2 carries of the third quarter. Callahan, no yards.
They're officially giving him, they officially have to give him a yard because he actually made about a foot, so.
Looks like the ball is still, they still got the ball on the hash mark
at the 29. So, they just put the marker back, so we're going to call it no gain.
Under 2 minutes left, third quarter. Our score, Monroe Central 20, Sheridan 7. Sheridan has to get something going on offense on this drive because Monroe Central, it seems like just about every time they get the ball, they've made something happen and put some points on the board. Handoff. Nick Burnell this time up across the 30, about the 32-yard line where he goes down. 3 yards on the pickup by Burnell.
Tucker Young on the tackle there for the Bears. But a fourth down situation for the Blackhawks, and that will bring Gunnar Williams back in to punt again. I believe that's Williams back there to punt, isn't it?
That actually...
No, it's not.
Nope, that's not Williams. Has number 50 back there to punt for the Blackhawks.
Jesse Kolb. That ball's going to roll dead at the 35-yard line.
So trading punts after that 4th and 18 where Monroe Central scored on their first possession of the second half, and now with 50.2 seconds left, Sheridan punts the ball back to the Golden Bears.
The other thing that's happened in this half, Craig, is even though the Golden Bears have only scored once, the time of possession has really, really gone in their favor, and they're taking a lot of time off the clock. Even last time when they didn't score, they still had the possession of the ball for like 4 or 5 minutes.
50.2 left here in the third quarter. Knatzer back there in the backfield by himself. Screen pass out there to Wyatt Snyder, and Cole Cummings tries to bring him down, and he's taken down by number 3 for the Blackhawks, and that is, check that, lost it, Kane Spencer.
Well, that was a case where the initial contact had him right at the line of scrimmage, and it ended up that still ended up gaining a couple yards on that play.
Looks like this will be the final play of the third quarter.
They are going to have to run the play.
Yeah, they are just about right together. Play clock just ahead of the game clock. In motion comes Wilson. Snyder has the ball. The quickest handoff in the state. And that will end our third quarter of play. Snyder gets the handoff up to the 41 for a 3-yard pickup, and through 3 quarters, our score is Monroe Central 20, Sheridan 7.
Fans Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. You can follow them on Facebook and on Twitter. Craig, it's just about time for Hamilton County Television to start transitioning. We're moving into winter sports. What's coming up Tuesday night?
Tuesday night, it's big.
Yeah, it's big.
What do you have Tuesday night?
Well, I'm going to be at Noblesville Tuesday night.
You're going to be at Noblesville Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think you're going to be there too, but we're going to be on different microphones.
We will. I'll be down on the floor on the public address, and actually I'll be there tomorrow night as the Noblesville girls host Snyder. In the home opener. Noblesville dropped the season opener last night at Lawrence North in girls action, 53-41, kind of late. They let that one get away. We start fourth quarter action here at Bud Wright Stadium. A stutter step there by Israel Nash. Zigging and zagging. And Wyatt Snyder back to pass, and that ball is off the hands of Seth Wilson. Interesting play call there.
Yeah, an interesting play call, and that's probably a play that Seth Wilson would like to have back, because that ball just went right through his hands.
Do you see that?
And he did not have a defender on him.
Snyder is listed as a receiver and a quarterback.
Yes.
But he's been a running back most of the game.
Yeah.
He's an athlete.
That's why I was asking when he was back there and took those snaps. Was he, was that Wildcat or was it not?
Back to punt. Almost a blocked punt by
high punt.
And Namke. That ball just goes right past his arm, and that ball's going to be down to about the 17 or 16 yard line.
Yeah.
So punt.
A good punt there for the Monroe Central Golden Bears, and 11:45 left here in the fourth quarter. The Blackhawks have got a lot of work to do here to get back into this. It's not that Craig, they're capable of it.
Very capable.
All they've got to do is break a couple big plays, and they can be right back in this game. But so far, other than the long run by Joe Callahan and one pass play, they've had two big plays all evening. The Golden Bears defensively have done a great job against the Blackhawks.
Yeah, and we're 15 seconds into the fourth quarter as Sheridan starts this drive. Delph, the pass is blocked and almost picked off. I think Delph had to dive on it, but the ball hit the turf.
I think that was Taft Manship who got his hands on it, and he almost came up with that ball.
Yeah, the big hands of Manship.
If he tipped that a little higher instead of tipping it down toward the ground, he probably would have had an interception.
Incomplete on the play. Brings up second down and 10 at their own 16-yard line. And I think, like I said before we started the second half, Sheridan needs to get back to the bread and butter.
Yeah.
And maybe Joe Callahan maybe bust it outside instead of up the middle like he's used to. But Callahan back in the backfield. Namke in motion, right to left. This time, hand off to Callahan, tries to bust it. He goes up 20. Maybe the 22-yard line will they give him progress for 6 yards.
Now that's more the type of run that we're accustomed to seeing Joe Callahan do, where he's able to bust through that line, bounced off a couple of defenders, and ended up gaining 6 yards on that play. So about a 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5, somewhere between 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 5 for the Blackhawks, deep in their own territory. A much-needed third down situation here for the Blackhawks. They need a first down here. They need to get this ball. They need to keep this ball rolling.
Yeah, they have to get a first down here because you're just giving putting the game back in the hands of Monroe Central, and they're going to eat up more clock. In motion was Burnell. Drake Delph back to pass across the middle and over on Namke. It looked like Namke stopped his route at the 35, and the ball lands at about the 45.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of strange because Namke was going down the field, and all of a sudden he slowed down, and it looked like Brody Perry was on the to Namke's right, and the ball just sailed right over the head of Namke. So a 4 and out or a 3 and out for the Blackhawks.
Back to receive this punt will be for Israel Nash. And there's Jesse Kolb, a low liner, but it's a spiral. And this one's going to be into the hands of Nash. Tries to evade Kane Spencer, and he does, up across the 45.
That was a good punt return there. He got about 10 yards that he probably shouldn't have had more than about 2 or 3 on that. But the Golden Bears are out near midfield with about 10.5 minutes remaining in this one.
They'll start at their own 48, and Sheridan needs a big defensive series here. They need to force a 3 and out, and they need to make something happen. And obviously, Bud Wright and Company knows that Sheridan is very capable of doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Getting themselves back in. They're only 13 points down because two-point conversions have not gone for Monroe Central. So that gets Sheridan even more possibility of coming back in this game. Inside handoff, that looks like, it's Nash. He gets 2 yards to midfield.
Two hard-earned yards on that particular play.
10:20 and rolling on the clock, and that's all the Golden Bears want to do is eat up clock.
Yeah, the Blackhawks really have not played that bad of a defensive game. It's just that the Golden Bears have just dominated the time of possession and just have not given the Blackhawks that many opportunities.
Snyder keeps it on a little Wildcat formation, and down inside the 40 he goes. Going to be marked out of bounds at about the 36, so a 14-yard pickup by Wyatt Snyder. Believe it or not, that's actually his biggest run of the night.
That 14-yard gain puts him down at the 36-yard line and puts the Golden Bears in excellent position here.
First and 10 at the 36 of Sheridan.
You got to believe that the Bears are going to do two things here. Number one, they're going to run it. Number two, they're going to try as hard as they can to keep it in bounds.
This just looks like a circus show, the way they can hand it off so quick. Israel Nash inside the 35, and there is there's a flag in there.
A little extracurricular or extra shoving there on the part of the Blackhawks. And I think this might be a case where the second man retaliated and got caught. Another personal foul.
Yep,
that's going to be a 15-yarder
so from the
on the end of the run.
So from the 33, the 3-yard pickup by Nash, going to go down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So the sixth penalty of...
I was going to say, I believe that was the sixth or seventh penalty. Yep. And they've had some big ones, too. They've had several of them that have been 15 yards.
4 of those have been 15 of the 6.
That's just got to be a frustration penalty, Craig.
Yeah. And, you know, when you haven't been put in that situation in weeks, it's just tough to deal with, and they just have to fight back on this adversity and come back. Handoff to Seth Wilson. Up the middle he goes. Pyle
Still
driving
going
through like a fullback, and he's down to about the 9-yard line.
He's going to have a first down. You can have a first and goal at about the 9. No?
Looks like they give him
I'm sorry. They didn't give him the 9.
9-yard pickup by Wilson. Looks like the ball was at
about the 10, it looks like.
Yeah. So a 9-yard pickup. Looks like the ball spotted just inside the 10. Now we have a whistle here. Not sure what that was.
The referee is telling somebody in the Sheridan sideline to back up.
Hands it off to Snyder.
That should be enough for a first and goal.
Picks up 3 to Snyder, and that's a first down to about the 7-yard line, so a 3-yard pickup.
They're officially putting it on the 8. Now they're going to wind the clock again. (37-14). Carmel Greyhounds over the Lafayette Jeff Broncos at Carmel. So it looks like the Greyhounds will win sectional number 4. Avon on their way to a victory with about a minute left.
And it looks like, depending on who wins between Carroll and Snyder, looks like Carmel holds on. They will more than likely face Snyder next week in the regional.
And the Fishers Tigers have scored again. They're out in front of the Pike Red Devils 27-7. 28-7. They must have just got the extra point. We're 8:10 left in this one. It's 20-7 in favor of the Bearcats of Monroe Central. They're knocking on the door.
First and goal at the 8.
First and goal at the 8. Bud Wright and Sheridan calls a timeout here to talk it over, because the last thing that the Sheridan Blackhawks can afford to do now is give up another 6, 7, or 8 points here at this point, because it's getting very late in this game, and as dominating as the Golden Bears have been, it's going to be tough to make up this much of a deficit.
Oh, ball's on the turf. Nope.
They're going to call him down.
Yep, he was down.
Yeah, he recovered the ball and went down to the knee, and so the play is dead.
And that'll be back at the 10, so a 2-yard loss on the play.
But as we've seen before from Monroe Central, they came back from a 4th and 16 or 4th and 18.
4th and 18 at the 20.
Scored a touchdown.
So now it's going to be second and goal at the 10-yard line. 7:40, and the clock continues to roll.
You got 15 seconds on the play clock, and you've got to believe that they're going to take every second off this play clock that they can.
Wilson in motion, handoff. Nope, check that. Snyder runs off to the right and evades the Drake Delph tackle and the Kane Spencer tackle. Finally brought down.
So that wasn't a wildcat. That was a quarterback keeper because he lined up under the center there.
Because technically, like we see on the roster, Snyder's listed also as a quarterback, and he's thrown a pass in that formation.
Well, he was up under the center too. We're down to 7 minutes here.
Third and goal at the 4.
Snyder's still in there in the quarterback position.
Yeah. Keeps it himself, and he's going to try and race to the left corner, and he finds it.
He makes it.
Touchdown, Wyatt Snyder on the keeper.
Well, the Monroe Central Golden Bears on their way to the championship of Sectional 44 here in Class 1A here in Sheridan this evening with a 19-point lead at this point at 26-7. 6:43 on the clock here in the fourth quarter.
And once again, they will go for 2. It's 26-7. Knatzer pitches. Snyder.
He's going to not make. He's not going to make it.
The run fails, but the score didn't, and Monroe Central extends their lead. And with 6:43 left, it's Monroe Central 26, Sheridan 7.
Hey, Craig, you heard about the Hamilton County television events calendar at hctvcalendar.com?
Not yet.
Well, you got to check that out because that calendar has got all kinds of upcoming events in Hamilton County, including most of our local high school events. If you have an event to add to the calendar, it's easy and it's free. The Hamilton County Community Calendar has been online since 1995. Check it out, www.hctvcalendar.com. And let me also remind you that Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, contact Community Health 317-355-7775.
Oh, and Monroe Central onsides it. It's going to be recovered. So the Blackhawks will have great field position on this drive. Recovered by number 71 of Sheridan. That is Chris Starks.
Yeah, I was watching that. I don't know if I would call that an onside kick or just kind of a muff on that. So the Blackhawks take over in very good field position at their own 46 with 6:41, a 19-point deficit for them to make up.
And faking the handoff to Burnell. Delph, his pass. Ooh, almost caught by Cummings, but also almost picked off by Nick Mitchell.
Mitchell has been all over the place tonight, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball for the Golden Bears. Of course, when you get down into 1A and 2A, you see so much more of the players playing both directions. And I always thought that, the more the defense is on there, when those kids have to come out there on offense, they're tired. They're tired. That's a hard one.
Second down and 10 at the 46 for the Blackhawks. Like Brad said, down 19. In motion comes Burnell. Fakes the handoff to Callahan.
Delph's going to be caught in the backfield.
Sacked in the backfield at about the 37-yard line. They'll make it the 40, so a 6-yard loss.
Kobe Brown on the sack. So that's going to bring up a third.
We've got a Golden Bear down, and that's big. It's number 70, Tucker Young, the 6'5", 315-pound lineman. With 6:15 left, he's down on the turf. Hopefully he's all right.
They're working on his right leg. I'll tell you what, while they're working on that, let me tell you, from personal injury claims to complex business litigations to divorce cases, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim, protects the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, governments, bodies all around Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. Contact their Noblesville office, 317-773-5320, or visit their website, www.cchalaw.com. Church, Hiddle and Antrim, attorneys at law.
Looks like Lafayette Jeff has scored. It's 38-20. Late in the fourth quarter. Delph. Oh, does he get knocked? Does he get tripped up just inside the 50?
He got tripped up inside the 50, but there was also what I thought should have been called a late hit on that. He was clearly out of bounds when one of the Golden Bears went for his legs, and he almost tripped him up.
Almost ran him right into the bench.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 4th down and 3 at the Monroe Central 47, so a 13-yard pickup on the play.
The Blackhawk coaching staff not at all happy about the no call there, and we've got another timeout being called, this one being called by the Blackhawks. So with that, let's remind you, Smith's Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one was to ask how and why, the answer simply would be their outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith's is eager to give their customers a memorable, positive experience. Contact them at 317-773-3383 or visit them online, www.smithsonthesquare.com. And don't forget, no job is too small or too big for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing water, fire, storm, or mold remediation, or you're just a homeowner who needs a good carpet cleaning, call Indiana Restoration, 317-776-9942, or visit them online, www.indianarestoration.com.
Final score from Avon, it's the Orioles 47, Brownsburg 25. So Avon moves on. Delph keeps it. He's going to get the first down and a little bit more down right about the 40-yard line. So a nice 7-yard pickup by Delph, and on his past 2 carries, 20 yards.
One thing you can always say about a Bud Wright team, Craig, they do not give up regardless of the score.
They don't quit, and there's plenty of time left. We're just under the midway point of the fourth quarter. It's 26-7, and Sheridan needs to make something happen quick. With Callahan in the backfield. Burnell, the wing, comes behind. And in motion, fakes the handoff to Burnell up the middle, and picked off by Israel Nash, and he's taken down.
Nash just stepped right in front of Ganamke and took that ball. I think Ganamke thought he had it in his breadbasket, and he just stepped right in front of him and took it away for the interception. And probably the sectional championship, unfortunately, at this point. 5:25 left in this game.
Monroe Central will take over with 5:25 left at their own 41-yard line and look to do nothing but eat this clock up.
And they've done a great job of doing that so far tonight.
So they've got 5 seconds left on the play clock, and they are scrambling. Knatzer keeps it himself. He will go with the pile.
Still moving.
And that's one heck of a way to gain at least 5.
They're going to give him 5 yards on that one.
Wow. Yeah, all the way up to the 46, so Knatzer with a 5-yard pickup on that play. Wow.
It's almost like that old song, I hear the earth move, or I feel the earth move. Man, they
my feet.
They were just moving.
5 yards on the gain. 2nd and 5 at the 46. Knatzer under center. This time, pitches. It's Seth Wilson. Wilson, no gain this time.
Wilson made a smart play in that one, Craig. You'll notice he was sweeping over to his left.
Yep.
And when he didn't see a hole there, he didn't try to keep going to the left. He came back toward the center because I think he was willing to sacrifice some yards to keep the clock rolling.
Yeah, I mean, you want to stay in it. Plus, he wanted to stay in bounds because he could have very well ran toward the Sheridan sideline.
Exactly.
And stopped the clock.
Exactly.
But why would he want to stop the clock when they've got a 19-point lead with 4 minutes left?
That was my whole point. You know,
Yep.
he turned around and went the other way, figuring, he probably wasn't going to get anything, but we'll keep going. Little fireworks going off in the background over there.
It's never too cool for fireworks. Knatzer on the pitch. Seth Wilson tries to find room, and he gets a few yards.
He's going to be about 2 or 3 yards short of a first down here. This should be an interesting call from Monroe Central. Do you punt the ball or do you go for the first down here with basically about 1.5 yards or 2 yards to go? Well, they're going to punt.
They're going to punt the ball. 55, DeAndre Mangus out there to boot the ball away. Meanwhile, the clock's still rolling. It's going to be Brody Perry and I believe back there also 15, Cameron Hovey to return for the Blackhawks. And this ball, a nice spiraling punt. Oh, he's got to pick that ball up. I thought he called a fair catch, but I guess not. Oh, ball on the turf, and this one gets knocked out of bounds.
It's out of bounds.
Yep, going to be Sheridan football, but it got knocked backwards about 5 yards after Brody Perry.
That was close to a major disaster for the Blackhawks. Hawks are going to have 85 yards to go.
It's like they will
2 minutes,
start
57 seconds.
Just under 3 minutes left, and Drake Delph and company, Joe Callahan, they're going to have to work magic. It's going to take just about a miracle, but there's a lot of time left. 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes. Delph rolling out left, keeps it himself, going to run, tries to find room. Heading back toward the middle, finds his way back to the right side. He's got all kinds of real estate. He's going to find his way out of bounds.
Once again, who was there for Monroe Central?
Nick Mitchell.
Nick Mitchell. He has been all over the place on both sides of the ball tonight.
Up to the 24-yard line, so a 9-yard pickup, almost a first down for Drake Delph.
Helmet down, shoulder pads down, Andrew Luck style. And just went straight into the tacklers.
Second and 1 at the 24. Clock stopped with 2:45 left.
Well, how many? He gained 9 on that, but how many did he run? About 25?
Oh, he had to have run 25. I've seen that happen a few times in my day, and it's just crazy. The pitch to Callahan finds room, and he gets the first down.
He's still on his feet.
On his
still
feet, yes.
going. He got it to the. Looks like he got it to the 30.
Give him a 6-yard pickup and a first down for the Blackhawks. Clock will stop momentarily to reset the chains across the way. The one thing timing-wise that may hurt Sheridan right now is because that every play, Delph runs to the sideline, grabs it, and goes back to the huddle.
Yeah, he's using a lot of time between plays.
In motion comes to Burnell. Perry here to the near side. The handoff. Callahan, he drops a yard.
Lost 2 on that one.
Back to the 29. Approaching 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Delph is still coming to the sideline for each play, so under 2 minutes. The story of this game, Craig, has been that the Blackhawks came out very good on their first possession, but have not been able to do anything since, between penalties and
Delph back to pass, and going to be a pass interference. Looked like all over him was number 3, Seth Fields.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Brody Perry, the intended receiver. Fields was draped all over. He actually tackled him before the ball got there.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell if he made the catch or not.
That's how much Fields was all over him.
So that'll be a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Just the second penalty of the night by the Golden Bears.
The Bears have not made very many mistakes this evening. Everything.
And we'd like to thank all of you football fans out there this fall for watching us however you have this season. We thank you very much for your loyal viewership. And that pass intended, almost picked off by Wyatt Snyder, intended for Kane Spencer, number 3. Brings up 2nd down. Yeah, thank you all of you viewers out there who've joined us.
Doesn't seem like it's been almost 3 months now.
Yep, it has been since August 18th, I believe, was our first. And next Friday. Next Friday?
What? Actually, next Tuesday will be.
Next Friday, I believe, is the first broadcast of girls basketball. It'll be Hamilton Heights hosting the Noblesville girls.
Okay.
In a Hamilton County rivalry game. Callahan dropped.
Lost
about
a
1 yard loss there. And we're approaching a minute 15 left.
This is when it gets tough for the seniors, Craig, because they know that they're playing in their last game. It's an emotional time for them, obviously a happy time for Monroe Central. They'll make the drive back over to Parker City tonight, go home happy, and face either Southwood out of Wabash or Adams Central next week, and have to see where they're going to be.
Yeah, we looked all night, but we haven't been able to track down that game score. And Callahan tries to break loose for one more run, a big run for his career, but not the case. But he gets back for a 1 yard pickup.
Now it's going to be up to the Blackhawks as to whether they want to run another play or not. They do not have to run another play in this situation because there's about 4 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock, and it would appear that the Blackhawks probably are not going to run another play here. So as you said, Craig, it's been a great season. It's been fun to be with you this season, and we'll see you during basketball season. And that, your final thoughts on this game tonight?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't the turnout we would like for Bud Wright and the Sheridan Blackhawks, but they came up against a team which they probably haven't seen the schemes that Monroe Central brought to the table, and it may have thrown the defense of Sheridan off a little bit. And plus, the one thing we brought up a few times was the size of that Monroe Central defensive line.
The size and quickness.
Yep, with Haney
Most
and
definitely.
Young. Yep, and they were quick on the outside, and they stacked the box at different times, preventing Joe Callahan from doing what he did best all season at getting 157 yards a game. And hats off to Joe Callahan on one heck of a career here at Sheridan the past 3 years.
Yeah, leading rusher in Hamilton County this year.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Well, we'd like to thank everybody who has been watching tonight's IHSAA Sectional 44 Class 1A championship game. The Monroe Central Golden Bears defeat the Sheridan Blackhawks 26-7. Hamilton County Television Sports brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in the business. Our other participating sponsors: Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, Hamilton County Television Calendar, the Noblesville Chamber of Commerce, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. Any closing comments, Craig?
It's been a great season. You got it. We will see everyone for basketball season this year, and we thank you for all your viewership. And
good night from Sheridan.